Alright, strap in, because British politics has just gone from strange to completely unhinged. And at this point, I can't even say I'm shocked anymore. Picture the scene: Labour's big annual conference, the spotlight firmly on Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Instead of delivering a steady, statesman-like message, he decides to go nuclear. He takes aim straight at Nigel Farage and Reform UK, tearing into their immigration platform and branding their policies as, quote, racist. That's not a casual insult. That's political dynamite. But almost in the same breath, Starmer tries to row it back. He insists, oh, it's not the voters themselves who are racist, only the policy. And right there, you can practically hear the sound of political credibility collapsing. It's like watching a gymnast attempt a backflip, land on their face, and then pretend it was all part of the routine. And here's the kicker: instead of Reform UK being weakened by the attack, they've exploded in popularity. Their poll numbers didn't just hold, they shot up like a firework strapped to a rocket booster. This is the kind of political backfire you'd expect in a satire, not in the real world. Yet here we are. So grab your tea, or maybe something much stronger, because this roller coaster is about to go vertical. Let's start with the numbers, because they are jaw-dropping. A fresh Find Out Now poll has Reform UK at 35% support nationwide. 35. That's not just first place, that's a commanding lead. They're up 2 points from just last week and now stand 16 points ahead of Labour. 16 points. To put that into perspective, that's not a gap. That's a canyon. That's Labour staring across the political equivalent of the Grand Canyon while Reform waves smugly from the other side. Labour is sitting at 19%, yes, the governing party, second place, barely scraping respectability. Meanwhile, the Conservatives, the traditional opposition, the party that's been at the heart of British politics for decades, are languishing in third on just 14%. And it doesn't end there. The Liberal Democrats have slipped to 12%, dropping 4 points in a week. The Greens slid to 11%. Put it all together, and the picture looks like a 5-car motorway pileup where Reform UK has driven straight through the wreckage without slowing down. This isn't stale data. This poll surveyed over 2,000 people yesterday. It's as fresh as it gets. And the timing is no coincidence. This surge comes directly on the heels of Starmer's conference attack. Starmer's decision to brand Reform's immigration stance racist was an all-guns-blazing moment. Specifically, he called out their plan to scrap indefinite leave to remain, a controversial, hardline proposal that Reform argues is necessary to regain control of Britain's borders. By labeling it racist, Starmer pulled the pin on the biggest grenade in political language. But then came the bizarre caveat, oh, but the people themselves aren't racist. That's like telling a parent their child is ugly, but quickly adding, don't worry, you're lovely though. You can't soften a blow like that. Once it's out there, it's out there. Nigel Farage, never one to let a PR opportunity slip, pounced immediately. He accused Starmer of endangering Reform supporters, claiming the Prime Minister's words would incite the radical left. He declared Starmer had dragged politics into the gutter and called it an absolute disgrace. And just to twist the knife, Farage even invoked real-world tragedy, pointing to the killing of U.S. conservative activist Charlie Kirk as an example of what happens when political rhetoric spirals out of control. Agree with him or not, it was a clever reframing. Suddenly the debate wasn't about whether Reform's policy was racist, but whether Starmer himself was irresponsible. Here's the real puzzle: why did Starmer do this at all? As Prime Minister, his job is to lead, to rise above the noise, not dive into it headfirst. By going after Reform so directly, he didn't bury them. He legitimized them. Because here's the brutal truth of modern politics: calling your opponent racist doesn't automatically sink them anymore. For decades, that was the silver bullet. But today, with public trust in institutions at rock bottom, that label can backfire spectacularly. Many voters see the racism charge as just another tool of the establishment. So when Reform is branded racist, their supporters don't abandon them, they rally harder. They see it as proof the elites are terrified. Farage knows this instinctively. It's political judo. He uses his opponents' attacks as fuel. Starmer, by contrast, looks like he's stuck in an outdated playbook. He's throwing punches that only make his opponent stronger. And the numbers prove it: Reform's up, Labour's down, the Conservatives are irrelevant, and the political map is being redrawn before our eyes. Reform UK was never meant to be here. They started as a protest vehicle, the spiritual successor to UKIP, expected to fizzle out once Brexit was in the rearview mirror. But instead of fading, they've tapped into a reservoir of public anger that neither Labour nor the Tories seem able to reach. Their immigration platform may be controversial, but it clearly resonates. 35% in the polls doesn't happen by accident. That's a third of the electorate saying, yes, this party represents me. And that's terrifying news for both Labour and the Conservatives. Labour's supposed to be enjoying their post-election honeymoon. Instead, they're floundering at 19%. The Tories, supposedly regrouping as the main opposition, can't even scrape above 14%. This isn't just a polling blip. It looks like a structural shift. British politics is no longer Labour versus Conservatives. It's Labour versus Reform. And at the moment, Reform is winning. Starmer can't back down now. He's locked himself into this fight. But doubling down risks making Reform even stronger. Pulling back would look weak. It's a political trap of his own making, with no easy escape. And that raises the million-pound question: is this the start of a genuine political realignment in Britain? Could Reform UK, once dismissed as a fringe protest party, actually cement themselves as a dominant force? Could they even replace the Conservatives as the main rival to Labour? Because if Reform holds steady, if they turn these polling numbers into seats at the next election, then British politics as we know it is over. The old two-party system, Labour versus Conservatives, might already be dead. So here's where I'll leave you: is Reform UK just enjoying a sugar rush of temporary support after being attacked by Starmer, or are we witnessing the birth of a permanent, seismic shift in British politics, one where Farage's movement doesn't just disrupt the system, but replaces it entirely? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more in-depth political commentary, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the world of power and politics. Thanks for watching.